have to read something. Yes, right here in the middle.
I was wondering how you created Harry Dresden, or how did he come about as a character?
How did Harry Dresden come about as a character? Harry Dresden came about because I wanted to prove to my writing teacher how wrong she was in her theories of writing. I've been writing several novels for her. They were all terrible for classes. And one semester I decided, you know what, because I didn't want to take her advice on account of I had an English literature degree. I knew what I was talking about. Whereas she had merely published 40 novels. But one semester I was finally going to be like, okay, you know what, I am just going to be her writing monkey this semester. I'm just going to do everything she says. I'm going to fill out her little worksheets and do her little charts and drawings, and she'll see what terrible, awful, cookie-cutter pablum crap comes out from a process like that. And I wrote Stormfront, which showed her. Harry, her name is Debbie Chester. She's still a professor at OU, teaching in their journalism department, teaching their professional writing department. But yeah, I consciously put Harry together in a very mechanistic fashion. I said, okay, well, what have I got going here in this idea? Wizard detective. All right, so I went and looked at wizards and tried to find all the cool things about wizards that were about the most archetypical wizards. So I've looked at characters like Gandalf, like Merlin, like Alanon, like Belgarath, and tried to pick out the things that I liked about wizards. And then I went and looked at private eyes, and I looked at the classic private eyes and the long-term private eyes, Sherlock Holmes, Spencer, John McDonald's characters, and then I said, okay, well, you know what? What was really odd was that wizards and private eyes really share the same niche in storytelling. They're the characters who will go into the either literally or figuratively dark places to find out information. Gandalf was not a threat to Mordor because he had a groovy stick and a flashlight that made ring rates go away. He was a threat to Mordor because he was the guy who figured out who the ring was and went and did the research and went down into the basement in the stacks at Minas Tirith and actually found this stuff out. He was digging for information. When he found it, that was what made him dangerous. Private eyes do exactly the same thing. They go digging for information, and that's what makes them a threat or makes them able to help people. It's where their power comes from. I thought that was cool. So I said, okay, all wizards are tall. Almost all of them are tall. All the ones that are tall are skinny. So Sherlock. Okay, so we're going to take Sherlock Holmes' chassis, and that's going to be the basis for Harry Dresden. And they said wizards are all grumpy, so we need some grumpy, and that was fine. I was fine with that. Private eyes, one of the big unifying attributes of private eyes is they can all take a beating and they're all completely determined to do whatever they're going to do. So I put that on it. And then I said the other great thing about private eyes is they always have the ability to lip off to absolutely anyone they want, whether or not it's going to get them killed. So I put that on the Dresden. And so I mean the character started taking shape like that. And then what I said was, okay, basically what this guy is, in terms of personality, is he's a computer nerd, only he works with magic instead of circuits. And then plopped him down. I wanted the magic to be kind of engineering. He was sort of more an engineer than he was a shaman. I didn't want the magic to be real mystical. I wanted it to be kind of, okay, this is a source of energy like anything else, and you can work with it like other sources of energy. And so, that was where I built Dresden, where it came from. Nothing. I mean, it was very mechanistic the way I put it together. It was completely cheesy, and she was wrong. Yes, in the back there.
People soul gaze on Harry. I mean, he makes a big mention of how he doesn't do a lot, and how he doesn't want to know a place. But I do. So what do they see when they?
Okay, what do people see when they do the soul gaze on Harry? What do people see? I'm not gonna tell. That's good. We might be able to find out later. Yes. Yeah.
Harry ever gonna get a sword? All the other wardens have.
Yeah, but all the other wardens have swords, but the person who made them kind of got kicked out of her body and dropped into somebody else without nearly as much talent. So there's no new swords coming down the pipe. I suppose he could always use another warden's sword if he became enough like them. Morgan's sword, for example. If he shared enough of the same kind of with a little, the same sort of psychological, profile as Morgan. If he ever got beat into that shape, he'd probably be able to pick up the sword, his sword and use it. But no, Harry's really he's more of a gun guy, really. So on the wall here.
Did you have any input on choosing James Marsters as the reader for the audiobooks, and if not, how did that come about?
Okay, did I have any input in choosing James Marsters as the reader for the audio, and if not, how did it come about? The answer is that my agent called me up one day and said, this small press wants to do an audio of the first couple of Dresden Files books, and I said, yay! And I said, we can do that. And then she called me back a couple days later and said, and they want James Marsters to read it. And I said, yay! And did a Snoopy dance. And just so you know, remember, before you do a Snoopy dance, remember Rule 17 and limber up, because as you get older, that Snoopy dance can inflict injury upon you.
Harry's knees.
So, you said that you've got a lot of these things planned out. Have you already planned out who Harry's grandmother is?
Have already planned out who Harry's grandmother is. And the answer is yes. And did you, have you read Changes yet? I think
yes.
Maybe not. Oh, okay, well then, yeah. Well, she's not alive anymore.
Any inkling about her? Is she a person of significance?
Well, she was immortal. That was about it. And Harry's mom was alive for a good long while before she had him. I think she was 100 and something. But anyway, yeah.
How's the game coming?
Flip that off an accident. How is the game coming? They're taking pre-orders now. It's almost done. You can actually download a beta PDF of the beta version, and they're doing the final. There it is, and they're doing it now. So the role-playing game's coming out soon, which I will probably never ever play, unfortunately.
Aww.
Well, if I'm GMing the game, it's too much like work.
Yeah.
If I'm running the Dresden Files game, if I'm playing the Dresden Files game, I am every GM's nightmare. No, that is how it works, and if necessary, I'll write it different in the next book. I have way too much power gaming weasel in my gaming profile, so I couldn't inflict that on anyone. Yeah.
Are you happy with how the game came out?
I am happy with how the game came out, yes. They did an enormous amount of work on it. I mean, like a stupid, silly amount of work, which I admire them greatly for. And I've had to go through and go, no wait, you can't say this, you can't say that, you can't say this. And he's like, why not? It's like, well, why not? It's so obvious from all these different facts that I put together. And I'm like, I know, but the general reader doesn't know that yet, so don't put it in there. It won't be any fun for them if we do it like that. Oh, okay. But you did a good job. You were a good detective. Okay, cool.